Introduction: The Invisible Dial. Imagine for a moment that you are driving your car in the middle of a pitch-black night. You want to listen to classical music to relax. You turn the radio knob. At first, you only hear noise. Shh. Static. Annoying sounds. Squeaks. Broken voices. Does this mean the classical music has ceased to exist? Of course not in this world today. The orchestra is playing right now, at this very instant, on frequency 104.5, but your radio is tuned to 90.1. The problem is not the music. The problem is not the car. It isn't even the night. The only problem is the position of the dial. Now look at your life, your bank account, your health, and your relationships in your world now. If what you see is static, scarcity, disease, conflict, and anxiety, I have fundamental news for you. Wealth has not ceased to exist. Perfect health has not disappeared. Love is not a distant fantasy. All those realities exist right now. They are vibrating in the air around you, occupying the same space as your current lack today. The frequency of abundance. Abundance is a radio station that broadcasts 24 hours a day with infinite power. If you don't hear it, it's not because God has punished you. It is simply because your mental dial is rusty and stuck on the wrong frequency. This book is based on a scientific and spiritual premise. You don't have to create your reality. You must tune into it. We have been wrongly taught that success requires titanic effort, that wealth must be built brick by brick with blood, sweat, and tears. That is as absurd as trying to build a violin inside your radio just to hear music. You don't need to build the violin. The music is already traveling toward you. You just need to align your receiver now. We live immersed in an ocean of waves. Thought is vibration. Emotion is vibration. Matter is slowed down vibration. Your conscious and subconscious mind form the most sophisticated receiving apparatus in the universe. But most people walk through life with the dial on random mode, or worse, fixed on Fear FM from their past now. Toes, tuning the symphony. They believe the noise they hear is the only possible reality. In the following pages, I will give you the instruction manual for your own radio. You will learn that poverty is simply a low frequency and wealth is a high frequency. You will learn to eliminate the static of doubt and find the symphony of your soul today. And most importantly, you will discover the invisible dial, that small knob in your mind that, when turned just a millimeter to the right, makes the noise disappear. Then, the symphony of your life begins to play with perfect clarity. There is nothing to fix in the world. The world is full of everything you need right now. You only have to adjust the frequency. Are you ready to change stations? Are you ready to hear the music that has always been meant for you? Let's begin the adjustment. The transmission is clear, the power is infinite, and the dial is in your hands. It is time to leave the noise behind and enter the music of your highest life today. Chapter 1: The Ocean of Waves. Look at the empty space in front of your eyes. Reach out and try to grab the air. It seems like there is nothing there, doesn't it? Your eyes see transparency. Your logical mind tells you, there is an empty space here. If I want something, I have to bring it from somewhere else or manufacture it from scratch in this world today. That conclusion, dictated by your physical senses, is the biggest lie your brain has ever told you. It is the root cause of all your scarcity. In that empty space before your nose, right now, millions of things are happening. Radio waves are traveling. Television signals are passing. Thousands of mobile calls are crossing right now. Wi-Fi data with information from all the world's libraries is navigating through you. Cosmic rays and the Earth's magnetic fields are passing. If you held a receiving device, a phone or a radio, that empty space would instantly turn into images, voices, money, and music. You wouldn't have to create the music, it was already there today. Welcome to the fundamental concept of this book, the ocean of waves. To master the master frequency, you must accept a truth that defies common sense. You don't have to create anything. Everything you desire already exists. The wealth you seek is not in the future. It is in a parallel frequency. It is a signal you must tune today. The law of potentiality, Atkinson's ether. In the early 20th century, William Walker Atkinson spoke of the great mental ocean. He understood that the universe is not made of solid things, but of energy in different states of vibration. Imagine ice, water, and steam. They are the same substance, H2O, but they vibrate at different speeds. Solid reality is just slow vibration now. Mental alchemy consists of knowing that steam can become ice under the right conditions. Atkinson taught us that thoughts are not ethereal things that disappear. They are real waves. They are forces as real as gravity. When you think I am prosperous, you emit a high-frequency wave. When you think of lack, the frequency drops today. This ocean surrounding us is a plastic, sensitive and living substance. It responds to the vibration you emit. But here is the secret. The ocean does not judge your wave. It doesn't decide if you deserve it. The ocean simply resonates. If you hit a tuning fork in the note A, every A string in the room will vibrate now. To the illusion of time, everything is now. Our linear mind tells us we need time to achieve greatness. To be a millionaire, I need 20 years of hard work. This belief is a barrier to tuning. In the plane of waves, the quantum plane or Joseph Murphy's divine mind, time does not exist. Everything is an eternal now. Think of a vinyl record or a Spotify playlist today. The last song on the record already exists before you place the needle in the groove. It is not being created while you listen. It is there, recorded and waiting. Your life is the record. The version of you that is immensely successful is not a future promise. It is a track already recorded. You are simply choosing which track to play now. When you understand that creation is already finished, an enormous weight is lifted. Anxiety disappears. Anxiety is the fear that it won't happen in the future. But if you understand it already exists in the wave field, anxiety becomes illogical. As Joseph Murphy said, the feeling of wealth produces wealth, not the desire, the feeling today. The great invisible storehouse, the divine mind. Joseph Murphy used psychological terms to describe this ocean, the collective subconscious or infinite intelligence. Imagine a cosmic storehouse with infinite shelves. On one shelf is your dream car, on another, your ideal partner. Everything is there, catalogued and ready for dispatch. You are the customer in this reality now. But this storehouse has a strange rule. It does not accept verbal orders. You cannot say, "Please, I want money." The universe does not speak human languages, it only understands frequencies. If you say, "I want to be rich but feel fear of bills," your frequency is lack. The universe gives you what you are, not what you say today. Understanding this is terrifying at first, but liberating later. It means there has never been a capricious God denying you anything. It means you have been an inexperienced tuner. You have been turning the dial with trembling hands, mixing the signal of desire with the static of doubt. You must become the vibration of what you want now. Here's why physical effort fails to tune. In the world of matter, effort moves things. If I want to move a chair, I apply force. But in the world of vibration, effort is counterproductive. Imagine trying to tune a delicate radio station by grabbing the knob with fury and turning it violently. You would pass it or break the dial. Tuning requires gentleness and calm today. Most people try to force their success by working 16 hours a day and fighting competition. They are trying to move waves with their hands. It is exhausting and inefficient. You can achieve things with brute force, but the cost is your life and peace. The way of the master frequency is the way of the least effort now. When you tune the right frequency, action becomes fluid. Opportunities seek you. The right people appear by chance. This is pure magnetism. A magnet does not work hard to attract iron. It doesn't sweat. It simply is magnetic. Its atomic structure, its frequency, forces the iron to come. Become a magnet, not a pusher today. The radio stations of your mind. Let's inventory the stations playing in the ocean of waves. Station 85.0 AM, The Victim. Programming. Constant news about crisis, complaints, life is hard. Result, stagnation, debt, and fatigue. Station 92.5 FM, The Fighter. Programming. Money is hard. Competition is fierce. Result, success is unstable and exhausting today. Station 101.0 FM, The Dreamer. Programming. Beautiful fantasies but without faith. Maybe one day, envy of others. Result, ups and downs, unfinished starts. The master frequency, divine tuning. Programming, absolute certainty, deep peace, gratitude. Result, miracles, spontaneous healing, and impossible synchronicity now. You change stations with every thought and emotion. Emotion is the band selector. If you think I want money but feel anguish, you are on 85.0 AM. If you think I have money and feel peace, you are on the master frequency. The universe doesn't hear what you think. It hears what you feel. Emotion makes you a living magnet today. Very quantum superposition, you are already rich. The version of you that is a millionaire is not in the future. It is here, superimposed on your current version. Imagine two slides projected on the same screen, a desert, poverty, and a lush garden, wealth. Both are real and in the machine. But the light of your consciousness is only illuminating the desert right now. You don't have to paint the garden. You only have to move the bulb. This destroys the excuse that your current reality prevents you from being rich. Your current reality is just the illuminated slide. It is an effect, not a cause. If you change the tuning today, 3D reality will inevitably rearrange itself to match your focus now. Seth Murphy's scientific faith. Faith is not believing in illusions. Faith is the certainty of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. In radio terms, faith is knowing the classical station exists, even if you only hear static now. Faith is turning the dial with confidence instead of throwing the radio out the window. Doubt is practical atheism today. Scientific faith is trusting the law. If I flip the switch, the light turns on. I don't have to pray to the bulb or sacrifice a lamb to the electric company. It is a mechanical principle. If I tune into the vibration of abundance, abundance manifests. Murphy invites us to treat the infinite mind as an infallible principle now. Faith, practice listening to the invisible. To close, let's calibrate. 1. Silence, sit quietly. 2. Acknowledge the ocean. Visualize the air around you thick with light and potential. 3. Locate the station. How do you feel? Is there tension? That is your signal. 4. The dial. Visualize a golden dial in your chest. 5. Tune. Turn it slowly to the right today. 6. The signal. Look for the feeling of relief. Imagine the debt is paid. How does your body feel? A sigh, lowered shoulders. 7. Hold the note. Stay in that relief and gratitude for 2 minutes. If doubt enters, recognize it as interference and turn the dial back to relief. You have just emitted a signal to the great ocean now. By the law of sympathetic resonance, the ocean has begun to move. Invisible things have started shifting toward you. You don't see them yet, just as you don't see the next song in the playlist, but it is already in the queue. In the next chapter, we will study the hardware, your brain and nervous system. Welcome to the ocean today. Chapter 2, Calibrating the Receiver. Modern man's tragedy is an overactive brain but a blocked solar plexus. The selector spins at full speed, but the antenna is down. This is a vibratory short circuit. You think, I want wealth, but feel, I'm afraid of bills. In manifestation physics, the plexus always wins. Today we learn to clean the rust and align the team today. Electricity versus magnetism. Atkinson described thought as a force with two components. The brain is electric, masculine, emitter. It directs, plans, and analyzes. It is the architect. The solar plexus is magnetic, feminine, receiver. It feels and attracts. It is the fertile soil. It is the force that pulls reality toward you now. The problem is dissonance. You say I am prosperous, but your plexus is tight with anxiety, radiating a signal of danger, scarcity. The universe responds to the magnetic signal, bringing more lack. Calibrating the receiver means making the brain and plexus emit the same note. Together, they create the master frequency today in your life. 2. The solar plexus, the abdominal brain. Mystics call the solar plexus the emotional brain. It is the entry point for the subconscious. When you hear bad news, you feel it in your stomach. When you love, you feel butterflies. This is your antenna vibrating. It is a radar that detects environmental waves before your eyes do. A tight plexus is a retracted antenna now. It cannot receive the signal of abundance. only emergency signals for survival. If you want to tune into wealth, you must first relax your gut, literally. You cannot receive miracles with a rigid abdomen. Physical relaxation in this area is the chemical signal that tells the universe, I am safe, I am ready to receive today. Third, thinking of versus thinking from. This is the fine adjustment knob. Thinking of, lack mode. You see your desire as a photo out there. You are a separate observer. This emits a signal of separation and waiting. The universe keeps you separated. Thinking from, possession mode. You see the road through the windshield of the new car now. You feel the steering wheel in your hands and smell the leather. You are inside the reality. This emits a signal of union and gratitude. The universe responds by materializing what you already have vibrationally. Stop being a spectator. Look at the world through the eyes of the rich person who already exists in the ocean today. Type V, static, anxiety and cortisol. Anxiety is static interference. Metaphysically, it's like trying to hear a symphony next to a jackhammer. That noise, the worry over bills, drowns out the voice of intuition. Intuition is the universe's GPS saying, turn here, call this person. If you are full of static, you run in circles, lost in the noise of your world now. Murphy said, peace is the prerequisite for manifestation. A shaking receiver cannot lock onto a signal. Before attracting money, you must eliminate static by calming your nervous system. Do not fight worry. Use divine indifference. Say, I see you, but I am not tuning you in. Return to your center and breathe today. V, the reticular activating system, the filter. Your brain has a physical tuner, the RAS. It filters millions of bits of info every second based on what you deem important. If you believe people are bad, your RAS only lets in news of crime. Calibrating means reprogramming this filter. Give it new instructions with sustained focus and emotion in your heart now. If you spend 10 minutes a day feeling gratitude for abundance, the RAS says, abundance is important. It will then start showing you business opportunities that were previously invisible. You will notice coincidences and useful conversations. You haven't changed the world, you have cleaned your lens to see what was always there today. V, cardiac and abdominal coherence. Heart math science shows that a chaotic heart rhythm stress partially shuts down the brain. You become less intelligent when stressed, but when the heart beats in coherence, the brain works at 100%. To tune into the master frequency, we need total coherence, brain plus heart plus Plexus pulsing in perfect sync together now. Atkinson recommended rhythmic breathing. Deep rhythmic breaths calm the solar plexus and oxygenate the brain. Physiology forces psychology to change. Before any visualization, you must enter coherence. Warm up the tubes of your radio. Visualizing while upset is a waste of time. Lock in your internal peace first today. 7th, practice the calibration protocol. 1. Plexus reset. Place your hand on your stomach. Inhale deeply, pushing your hand out. Exhale, relaxing the muscles. Say, peace, be still. 2. Captain's choice. Choose your station. Say, today I tune into the frequency of divine ease. 3. Sensational adjustment. Think from your goal for 60 seconds today. 4. Signal protection. Visualize a golden light around you. Decide that for the next few hours, news or complaints will not move your dial. If a setback occurs, say, this is just temporary interference. My signal remains firm. By shielding your internal state, you ensure your newly tuned frequency remains consistent and powerful now. 8. The danger of auto-tune. Subconscious minds have a scan button. If you don't take manual control, your mind returns to its default setting, your past. Money is hard. Life is tough. Master frequency requires conscious intent. You must fight inertia. Grab the knob and move it from fear to power. Readjust it 100 times a day if necessary now. Over time, your brain creates new neural paths. Your RAS learns what truly matters. Your plexus gets used to being relaxed. One day, the miracle happens. Your default setting changes. You wake up happy and vibrating in abundance. You are now a success magnet 24 hours a day. The music of your life is finally ready to play today. Chapter 3. The emotional dial, the law of vibration. Imagine an old radio with a large round knob and a needle sliding over a band of illuminated numbers. In the previous chapter, we prepared the device, brain and plexus. Now comes the most delicate part, moving the dial. This is where most people fail in the science of manifestation. They understand energy, but live in the basement today. They think the dial moves with words. They repeat, "I am happy," while their chest is tight and frustration fills their eyes. What station are they tuning? Frustration FM. The law of vibration is a law of physics, not linguistics, like attracts like. A vibration of anguish must attract distressing circumstances in your world now. In this chapter, we learn to handle the emotional dial. We will stop using emotions as automatic reactions to the outside world and start using them as tuning tools to create what happens outside. You will discover that emotion is not poetry. It is the engine of reality. It is the fuel that powers your creative signal today. The physics of emotion, energy in motion. Break down the word emotion, energy in motion. In the ocean of waves, a cold intellectual thought is a weak signal. You can think, "I want a car," coldly, but that wave falls flat. If you add passion or faith, the wave gains amplitude. It becomes a giant wave. It travels far and impacts the matrix of your life today. Atkinson compared thought to static electricity and emotion to dynamic electricity. Dynamic electricity lights up cities. Your solar plexus is the generator. When you feel a strong emotion, you emit a high-power signal. The universe is deaf to words, but sensitive to vibration. Fear is a very effective negative prayer now. To master the master frequency, you must understand that your emotions are the volume and frequency of your transmission. If you want the great storehouse to receive your order, you have to get excited about it. You must charge the wave with real feeling. Without that charge, your broadcast remains silent in the field today. The map of the stations, the vibratory scale. We need a map of the stations. There are low frequencies, long, slow, heavy waves, and high frequencies, short, fast, light waves. We will use the AM and FM analogy. The AM band, low frequency, heaviness. These stations are characterized by a physical sensation of cold and contraction in the stomach in your world now. Guilt and shame, the lowest frequency. It is the vibration of "I don't deserve to exist." Manifestation stops here. Fear. It vibrates a bit higher because it has adrenaline, but it is chaotic energy. It confirms your worst suspicions. Anger, a destructive energy. It attracts conflict and burns out your fuses today. The transition zone, the bridge, pride and courage. Here the change begins. We stop being victims and start feeling capable. The dial moves toward the center. The FM band, high frequency, lightness. Sensations of warmth and mental clarity, acceptance and willingness. Things start to flow and lights turn green now. Love and gratitude, the master frequency. It is the vibration of union. Love breaks the barrier between you and your desire. Gratitude is the supreme signal of, "I have already received it." Peace, the perfect signal, the total absence of static. Here, instant miracles occur because there is absolutely no resistance today. Tres, the law of induction, vibratory contagion. Atkinson introduced mental induction. In physics, a live wire induces electricity in a nearby wire without touching. Emotions are contagious. If you are in calm but enter a room full of panic, you might feel nervous. Your radio has been hacked by the external signal. This is why you must protect your dial now. A strong high vibration dominates a low one. If you enter with an unshakable master frequency, you induce calm in others. You become the tuning fork for the orchestra. Protection is vital for beginners. Avoid low vibration environments and complaining friends. They emit misery M waves that move your dial by resonance today. For Murphy's secret, feeling is the language. Murphy taught that the subconscious is like a sensitive record. It records what is impressed with feeling. If you say, "I am a millionaire," while feeling worry, the record saves debt. But if you recall a moment of intense relief, like passing a hard exam, and then think of money, the record saves possession now. A minute of intense, real feeling is worth more than an hour of mechanical repetition. To tune the reality you want, ask, how would I feel if this were already true? Do not seek euphoria, seek naturalness. Wealth must feel as natural as breathing. If it feels exciting and distant, it remains vibratory miles away today. Mental alchemy, transmuting lead to gold. When you wake up in a low frequency, do not try an impossible quantum jump from depression to joy. The radio cannot handle the sudden shift. The subconscious screams, liar. Atkinson's solution is gradual transmutation. Slide instead of jump. If in fear, seek anger. Anger mobilizes. Fear paralyzes in your world now. From anger, move to frustration, then hope, then belief. Climb the emotional ladder rung by rung. Use bridge thoughts. Instead of I am rich, say, I am open to the possibility of money arriving. This feels true and relieves resistance. Relief is the signal that the dial is finally moving upward toward your goal today. The trap of toxic positivity. There is danger in New Age emotional repression. Denying negative emotions buries them alive in the solar plexus, where they continue to emit subconscious static. Master frequency requires radical honesty. If you are sad, admit it. Acceptance is a high vibration. Accept the sadness to transform it. Denying it perpetuates it now. You are the radio, not the song. Listen to the sad song, let it finish, and then move the dial. Do not break the radio because you dislike the song. Murphy advised not fighting negative thoughts, but letting them lose interest. Say, a fear thought. No thanks, I'm not buying. Gently turn your attention elsewhere today. Say within gratitude, the universal tuner. Gratitude is the panic button for instant tuning. It implies that the event has already happened. You don't give thanks for what you will receive, but for what you have received. Vibrating in gratitude is the supreme signal of reception. It tells the universe, subject has health, so health must appear by law now. Start and end your day with a gratitude ramp. Thank for the coffee, the sun, or your bed. This warms up the tubes of your radio and sets a bass tone of appreciation. It is impossible to feel fear and gratitude at the same time. Gratitude is the most potent protective shield and attracting magnet in existence today. Failed momentum, the flywheel. Changing emotions is hard at first because of momentum. Imagine a heavy wheel spinning left toward negativity. You cannot stop it instantly and spin it right with one finger. It has years of inertia. You must apply gentle, constant force in the opposite direction until it stops at 0 point and begins to turn right now. Be patient with your dial. If you have tuned into Victim FM for 20 years, your body is addicted to that chemistry. You will feel withdrawal when you try to change. Keep turning the dial. In 21 to 60 days, the momentum will shift. The inertia of positivity will eventually correct your bad days automatically for you today. Lightly practice the tuning journal. For the next 7 days, set alarms every 3 hours. Ask, 1. What am I feeling? Anxiety, calm, etc. 2. What station is this? Low, medium, high. 3. Do I want to keep listening? If yes, turn up the volume. If no, apply the pivot. Ask, what do I want instead? Focus on that for 1 minute and move the needle now. Life is a succession of present moments. If you care for the vibration of the now, the future cares for itself. Your only responsibility is to keep the needle as close as possible to the master frequency. If you fall, do not judge, just retune. In the next chapter, we will automate success through subconscious programming today. Chapter 4. The Subconscious Antenna, the Law of Suggestion. Have you ever driven home and realized you don't remember the journey? Something drove the car while you were distracted. That something is your subconscious mind. In our radio analogy, if your conscious mind is the hand that turns the dial, your subconscious is the memory mechanism, the presets in your world now. The problem is that years ago, others pressed the memory buttons for you. Parents and teachers programmed button 1 with scarcity and button 2 with insecurity. Now, even if you try to tune into wealth for 5 minutes, as soon as you get distracted, the dial jumps back to scarcity. You are fighting your own programming today. Welcome to Chapter 4. Today we learn to hack the radio through the law of suggestion. This is the tool to erase old stations and save new master frequencies in your soul. Once the subconscious accepts the new station, you no longer have to struggle. Success becomes automatic. You enter the success autopilot now. Hey, the captain and the engine room. Joseph Murphy used the analogy of a ship. You are the captain on the bridge. You don't move the ship or shovel coal. You only give orders. North at full speed. Below, in the darkness, is the engine room, the subconscious. The engineers don't see the sea or icebergs. They only obey the captain's commands today. In daily life, you often give destructive orders. I can't pay this, or I'll never find love. The engineers, who control your vibration and charisma, say, as you command, Captain. Executing loneliness, blocking money. They take everything literally and have no sense of humor. You don't have bad luck, you have a leadership problem now. The law of suggestion states that any idea the captain accepts as true is executed without question by the engine room. To change your life, you must stop the shipwreck orders and start commanding abundance with authority. When you change the command, the crew changes the direction of your entire reality today. Chose how to record a station, repetition plus emotion. To save a new station, 2 factors are required. Repetition, the hammer. A fleeting thought leaves no mark. Walking through grass once doesn't make a path, but 100 times creates a trail. Emotion, the fire. Emotion is the glue. A suggestion charged with intense emotion, ecstasy or trauma, is recorded instantly today. Most negative programs were recorded through emotional impact in childhood or chronic repetition. To reprogram, you must suggest the idea to your deep mind until it surrenders. A belief is simply a thought the subconscious has stopped questioning and has started executing as an absolute fact in your world now. Thus, the gatekeeper, the critical mind. Why do affirmations fail? Because between the captain and the engine room stands the gatekeeper, your logical reason. When you say, I am a millionaire, the gatekeeper looks at your empty bank account and screams, liar, reject the order. He blocks the suggestion. But the gatekeeper has a weakness. He falls asleep today. When you are very relaxed or about to sleep, your brain waves drop from beta to alpha and theta. At that moment, the door to the engine room is wide open. Anything you tell your mind in this twilight state enters the engine directly without being filtered by doubt. This is the golden moment for your tuning now. Dive the SAT state, the magic minute. Neville Goddard called this the state akin to sleep, SATs. It is the 5 minutes in bed when your body is heavy, but you still have a thread of consciousness. Most people use this to worry about tomorrow, programming failures into their creative power. It is vibratory suicide. They tune into Disaster FM before sleep today. The master frequency technique demands you become the guardian of your sleep. Never fall asleep with a heavy heart. SATs is for recording the new station. If you had a bad day, ignore it. The pillow is the altar of creation. Only offer success and peace. Use this time to insert the new software into your biological radio now. V, the language of the machine. To program the antenna, speak the engineer's language. 1. Always in the present. I will be rich is a carrot on a stick. It stays in the future. Say, I am prosperous. 2. No negations. I am not sick makes the mind focus on sick. Say, I am perfect health. 3. Simple and short. Use command codes like divine success today. 5. Technique 1, the mental movie. In the SAT state, 1. Build a short scene, 5 to 10 seconds, that implies your desire is already fulfilled. Don't visualize wanting a car. Visualize your hands on the steering wheel, smelling the leather. 2. Loop the scene over and over like a mental GIF. 3. Add sensory details. Touch, smell, and hear the scene today. As you fall asleep playing this scene, you are benignly deceiving your subconscious. It doesn't distinguish between eyes open and eyes closed. For the subconscious, you already have the car. Because its job is to maintain coherence, it will begin to move the strings of reality, coincidences and ideas until it appears now. Sympathetic Technique 2, the lullaby. For those who don't visualize well, Murphy recommended the lullaby technique in SATs. 1. choose a word or short phrase like wealth, success, or it is done. 2. Repeat it mentally, very slowly, like a lullaby. 3. Savor the word instead of being a parrot. Let the word rock you to sleep today in your life. Murphy tells of a man who only repeated the word wealth until he fell asleep. By not forcing logic, he didn't say, "I have $1 million." His subconscious offered no resistance. The antenna tuned into the idea of wealth. Within months, business opportunities appeared. The word is the seed. Sleep is the fertile earth now. 5. To counter suggestion, daytime vigilance. During the day, the world bombards you with negative suggestions. There is a crisis. You are old. You must learn counter-suggestion. When failure is suggested, reject it instantly. If the world says flu epidemic, you think, that is your truth, not mine. I tune into perfect health. I am immune today. Atkinson called this denial and affirmation. Deny the lie, scarcity, and affirm the truth, abundance. Do not let any negative suggestion land on your runway. Be an aggressive doorman at the entrance of your mind. If it brings fear, it doesn't enter. If it brings hope, it passes. Guard your frequency at all costs now. Scientific proof, the placebo effect. The placebo effect is irrefutable proof of the law of suggestion. A patient is given a sugar pill and told it's a powerful medicine. The patient believes, and the subconscious orders the body to heal. The body then makes its own painkillers. Success is a self-administered placebo. Tell a new story until it becomes true today. X. The law of reversed effort. Murphy explained why people fail. When desire and imagination conflict, imagination always wins. Also, the more you consciously struggle, the less you achieve. This is the law of reversed effort. If you try too hard to be rich, you assume it's difficult. You are assuming poverty. Tuning requires a light touch now. Fast practice nightly programming protocol. 1. Disconnect, 30 minutes before sleep. No news or screens. 2. Relax. Talk to your body, relaxing from toes to head. 3. Induce sats. Control the drift of your thoughts. 4. Insert the disc. Bring your mental movie or power word. 5. Loop. Repeat without tension. 6. Sleep. Drift off in the joy of the wish fulfilled today. By doing this, you put the engineers to work for 8 hours while you snore. They are building bridges and organizing coincidences so that tomorrow your desire is one step closer. You will wake up with new ideas and energy. You will notice the radio playing your favorite song without you even searching for it now. Chapter 5. Eliminating static, doubt, and environment. Imagine you have achieved the most difficult part. You calibrated your receiver, raised your emotion, and programmed your subconscious at night. Your radio is tuned to the master frequency. The music of success begins to play clear. But then you leave your house. You meet a complaining neighbor. The bank sends a negative balance notice today. Suddenly, the music vanishes. A harsh white noise invades your ears. The signal is lost among chirps and crossed voices. Static has entered. In the world of radio frequency, static is any interference that distorts the signal. In the world of the master frequency, static comes from 2 sources, internal and external now. Internal static is doubt and excessive logic. External static is the negative environment, the news, and the evidence of the senses. Most students fail not because they don't know how to tune, but because they don't know how to maintain the signal. They tune to wealth at night but to poverty during the day. This creates an intermittent signal today. The universe cannot materialize a signal that turns on and off every 5 minutes. In this chapter, we will build a Faraday cage for your mind. We will learn to isolate your receiver so that, no matter what happens outside, your internal music never stops playing. We will master the art of maintaining your chosen frequency today. The physics of doubt, destructive interference. Atkinson explained doubt not as a moral sin, but as a physical wave phenomenon. In wave physics, there is constructive interference, waves add up, and destructive interference, waves cancel out. When you have a desire but add doubt, you emit a counterwave. The waves collide, resulting in zero. The energy collapses now. Doubt often disguises itself as realism. Your logic says, I'm just being realistic, look at the numbers. But in the ocean of waves, realism is simply loyalty to the old reality you created yesterday. To be realistic is to tune into the past. To be visionary is to tune into the future. Doubt is just low-frequency noise today. 2. The how trap, paralyzing analysis. The main source of internal static is the obsession with how. Your intellect intervenes. How will you get the money? You don't have capital. This generates anxiety, pure static. Joseph Murphy was clear. The how is not your business. It belongs to the engine room, your subconscious wisdom. They have resources you cannot see now. When you worry about the how, you interfere with the engineers. It's as if the captain went to the engine room and started touching valves without knowing mechanics. Your job is to define the what and maintain the feeling of the end. The universe handles the means. Surrender control of the details to find peace today. First, the mental Faraday cage, psychic protection. A Faraday cage blocks external electromagnetic fields. You need to build a psychological one through hermetic secrecy. The maxim says, to know, to will, to dare, and to keep silent. When you start reprogramming, do not tell anyone, not your best friend, nor your mother. Keep your dream in the womb of silence now. If you tell someone not in sync, they will project their fears onto you. Their words are low-frequency waves that act like acid on your new belief. Doubt is contagious. Silence generates pressure and accumulates energy, while talking dissipates it. Keep it secret until it is visible success. Protect your embryo from the light today. 5e, frequency vampires, friends and family. Atkinson spoke of mental atmospheres. Some people carry a black cloud. They are frequency vampires. They steal energy by provoking emotional reactions. You don't have to abandon them. Apply vibratory isolation. Imagine you are inside a transparent glass bubble. You see them and hear them, but their vibration doesn't touch you now. When they complain, do not join the choir. Do not preach to them either, as that creates conflict. Simply be indifferent. Listen as if you were listening to rain. It is a natural phenomenon that has nothing to do with you. If you stay high frequency without reacting, the negative person will either leave or be elevated by your light today. The diet of impressions, the input filter. Your subconscious sees what you look at. If you watch 3 hours of news about war and crisis, you are feeding your mind disaster material. Then you try to visualize wealth for 10 minutes. The trash wins by volume. To eliminate static, go on a strict diet of news and social media. Stop the supply of low frequency today. News sells fear. Social media sells envy. Cut the static. If something important happens, you will find out anyway. Replace these inputs with audiobooks, inspiring music, and biographies of success. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. What enters becomes your vibration. Guard your eyes and ears as if they were precious jewels now. First, the mirror illusion, 3D reality. The hardest static to ignore is your current reality. You tune to wealth but see an unpaid bill. Your senses scream, liar, this is real. You must understand the time delay. What you see today is not your present, it is your materialized past. It is the result of thoughts from months ago, it is an echo today. Reacting emotionally to an unpaid bill reprints the past into your future projector. This creates the karma loop. To break it, look at your reality with indifference. Say, this is my old creation. I am no longer that person. Pay the bill physically, but don't buy it emotionally. Ignore the mirror to change the image now. Sympathetic technique, the pivot course correction. Static will enter. We are human. Use the pivot technique for quick correction. 1. Stop. Do not follow the thought. Say cut. 2. Identify. I am feeling fear of poverty. 3. Pivot. Ask, what do I want instead? 4. Retune. Focus on the feeling of financial security for 17 seconds to fix the new signal now. 30. The law of non-resistance. What you resist persists. If you fight doubt, you give it energy. Static feeds on your attention. The way to eliminate it is not to fight it, but to increase the signal. In a noisy party, you get closer to your friend and focus only on their voice. Do the same with your mind. Focus obsessively on love, joy, and your desire today. Fill your mind with the master frequency until there is no room for static. Saturate your consciousness with truth, and the lie will dissolve for lack of food. You don't shovel darkness out of a room, you turn on the light, and the darkness ceases to exist. Be the light that makes all static vanish from your internal broadcast now. Time to practice the 7-day mental fast. The challenge. For 7 consecutive days, you cannot allow yourself to hold a negative or doubtful thought for more than 1 minute. Negative thoughts will arise. That doesn't break the diet. Entertaining them does. If a thought arises, apply the pivot immediately. If you ruminate for more than a minute, you must start over at day 1 today. Completing these 7 days will change your mind forever. You will break the habit of static and install your Faraday cage. Your receiver will be so pure that just thinking of a desire will make it appear almost instantly. You have cleared the channel. In the next chapter, we will learn to amplify the signal using the power of focus now. Chapter 6. Sympathetic Resonance, Magnetic Attraction. Imagine a concert hall with 2 grand pianos. A pianist strikes the C key on piano A. Immediately, the C string on piano B begins to vibrate and emit sound, even though no one touched it. The sound wave traveled through the air and activated the string mathematically aligned with it. Piano B sang by sympathy. This is sympathetic resonance today. This physical phenomenon is the scientific explanation for the law of attraction. We have worked on your piano A, your mind and emotion. We have tuned the instrument and learned to strike the key with power. Now, we will see what happens to piano B, the outside world. When you emit a master frequency, the world has no choice but to respond now. People and opportunities that vibrate at that same frequency will begin to sing and move toward you. Even more striking, the old structures of your life that cannot withstand your new high vibration will shatter to leave space for the new. Welcome to the spectacle of magnetic attraction, where your internal tuning dictates reality today. The universe is an acoustic mirror, the echo. Atkinson taught that the universe is not a judge, but a system of echoes. If you shout, "I hate you," into a canyon, it returns, "I hate you." Until now, you have been vibrating need and struggle. The universe has activated tyrants and unexpected bills. You were a magnet for problems because your frequency was problematic in your soul now. But now that you are emitting from gratitude and certainty, the echo changes. Resonance establishes that a frequency can only activate its equal. This is liberating. If you vibrate in abundance, it is physically impossible to tune into scarcity long term. They are incompatible. You become invisible to misfortune and highly visible to luck today. Toe in the cup breaks, constructive destruction. A vital warning. Sometimes things seem to go wrong when you start this work. You tune into wealth and lose your job. Do not panic. This is the opera singer breaking the crystal cup. If your old job was a rigid cup incompatible with your new frequency of unlimited wealth it had to shatter, it was a blockage in your divine flow now. Joseph Murphy called this chemicalization. Cleansing a wound stings as the dirt comes out. If your life starts to break, celebrate. It means your signal is potent. Walls fall so you can build a palace. Do not try to glue the broken pieces back together. The empty space is about to be filled by something that truly resonates with you today. Third, synchronicities, glimpses of the divine. How do you know resonance is working before the final result? Through synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that defy probability. These are positive interferences. You think of a rare book and a friend gives it to you the next day. You need a specific sum of money and a tax refund for that exact amount arrives now. These are pings from the universal server confirming the connection. When you see these signs, give thanks. This acts as an accelerator telling the subconscious, "More of this, please." You enter a state of flow where life seems like a continuous synchronicity. Lights stay green and you walk on a magic carpet of favorable probability today. Fee the bridge of incidents, the invisible path. Neville, Goddard and Murphy spoke of the bridge of incidents. You are at point A, no money, and want point B, wealth. The universe deploys a bridge, a series of natural events leading you there. A bad event like a flat tire might lead you to meet the person who offers you the job of your life. Do not judge the path now. The shortest path often looks like a detour. You must trust that every event after tuning is part of the bridge. Murphy said, "Infinite intelligence knows the way." You don't have to build the bridge. You only have to cross it without complaining, knowing it leads to your destination. Trust the divine current to carry you home today. V people as cooperative components. Atkinson said that when you change your mental key, you change the people you attract. People are stations on legs. If you vibrate as a victim, you attract victimizers. But when you tune the master frequency, two things happen: repulsion of energy vampires and attraction of people who have the puzzle piece you need now. You don't have to look for partners. You must become the vibration of the partner you want. If you want someone loyal, you cannot vibrate in jealousy and fear. By law of resonance, a loyal person must appear because they are the only ones who can hear your broadcast. People in your life are messengers of your own vibration today. Feign a flow state, action without friction. In physics, resonance minimizes resistance. In life, when you act from the master frequency, you enter the flow state. Action is no longer hard work, but inspired action. You don't get tired, you feel energized. Ideas flow. Writing or selling becomes fun because you are swimming with the universal current now. If every step is a struggle, you are out of frequency. You are trying to move the world with muscles instead of vibration. Atkinson advised, when you feel friction, stop. Recalibrate your receiver, raise your emotion, and then act. An hour of aligned action is worth more than 100 hours of misaligned struggle today. 7. The time buffer gestation. Why doesn't the Ferrari appear instantly? Because matter is dense and has inertia. Thought is light but matter is slow. There is a gestation period. Think of an Amazon order. The order is placed, but the truck takes 2 days. You don't call every 5 minutes screaming it's a scam. You wait knowing it is on its way now. The number one mistake is digging up the seed. You plant wealth today, but tomorrow you see nothing and doubt. By digging it up, you kill it. Resonance is working under the surface. Respect the gestation period. If you get impatient, you change your frequency to anxiety, and the delivery truck turns around. Patience is active faith today. Fairfield, the inevitability of success. If you maintain a pure note in a room of tuned cups, it is impossible for them not to vibrate. It violates physics for them to stay still. If you maintain the master frequency of your desire, it is impossible for it not to manifest. The universe cannot say, no, it is a mirror. It has no choice but to reflect what you emit now. The only variable is your consistency. The law never fails. Only the operator who lets go of the dial fails. Acquire this divine certainty. If I tune it, it must appear. It is law. This certainty is the most magnetic vibration in existence. Fear flees before it, and the path opens wide for your manifestation to take form today. IT practice. The radar test, the blue feather. To prove resonance is real, let's play a low-resistance game. 1. Choose an unusual object, a blue feather or a yellow rubber duck. 2. Tune. Visualize it for a moment. Feel the curiosity. 3. Release. Forget it. Don't go looking for it. 4. Observe. In the next 48 hours, keep your eyes open for its appearance now. You will be surprised. You might see a blue feather on a coat or in an ad. The universe says, here it is. If you can manifest a feather, you can manifest an empire. The mechanism is identical. The difference is your resistance. Learn to desire wealth with the same lightness as the feather, and it will come just as fast today. Chapter 7. Transmission and Action, the Dynamic Will. Up to this point, we have talked about you primarily as a receiver. We use the radio analogy to explain how to pick up the signal of abundance, but there is a final piece. You are not a passive radio. You are a transceiver. You have the ability to receive, but also the obligation to transmit. The most powerful form of transmission is action now. There is a trap in the modern spiritual community: passivity. Many believe the law of attraction means sitting and waiting for a bag of money to fall through the roof. Atkinson would laugh at that. He believed in dynamic will. God feeds the birds, yes, but he does not throw the food into the nest. The birds must go out and find it today. In this chapter, we learn to act, not with the desperate action of the ego, but with inspired action. This is action born from the master frequency. We will use your will not to fight the world, but to project your signal with such force that the world steps aside. Today you stop being an antenna and become a transmission tower now, in the myth of doing nothing. If everything is energy, and matter is condensed energy, then physical action is simply thought in motion. If you have truly tuned into the frequency of a successful entrepreneur, it is energetically impossible to stay in your pajamas all day. The frequency contains activity, meetings, calls, and creativity. Action is the signal's check today. If you say, "I'm visualizing but don't feel like doing anything," you haven't tuned into success. You've tuned into fantasy. Fantasy is passive. Real visualization is active. When the signal reaches the solar plexus, it floods the muscles with blood and pushes you to move. Action is the effect, not the cause necessary to close the circuit now. Tusa, forced action versus inspired action. How do you distinguish ego struggle from soul flow? Atkinson gave us the key. Friction. Forced action, low frequency. It feels heavy and born of fear. If I don't do this, I'll fail. You push a rock uphill and feel exhausted. Inspired action, master frequency. It feels enthusiastic. You chase the rock downhill today. The secret of the master frequency: never act from a low frequency. If you have a call to make and feel fear, stop, recalibrate, raise your vibration. Only when you feel the click of enthusiasm, pick up the phone. An ounce of concentrated action is worth more than a ton of diffuse effort. Act only when the wind of spirit is at your back now. Third, the transmission tower, personal magnetism. When you become an active transmitter, your aura changes, you radiate. People notice it and want to be near you. That something is a coherent and powerful vibration. In business and love, this is the ultimate weapon. A needy salesman transmits predation, but a magnetic one transmits value and security. They attract success today. You are always transmitting. Your frequency arrives before your words. Conscious transmission consists of deciding what to project before interacting. Before a meeting, stop at the door. Tune into confidence and mutual success. Charge your aura. Then enter. You have pre-paved the room with your signal and ionized the air now. Divested dynamic will, the laser focus. Will is not about gritting your teeth. It is sustained focus. Sunlight warms, but a magnifying glass concentrates it into fire. Your will is the glass. It is the ability to keep the dial fixed on the master frequency despite distractions. It is the power to ignore the obstacle and keep looking at the goal in your world today. Imagine walking a tightrope. If you look down in fear, you fall. Your will is the force that keeps your eyes fixed on the end point. Use your dynamic will to direct your attention, not to force others. Use it on your own mind. Force yourself to see success where others see failure. That is the true strength of the mage now. V. Divine guidance, Murphy's hunch. Joseph Murphy taught that a programmed subconscious communicates through intuitions or hunches. This is the voice of the master station. Often the guide isn't logical. Call this friend, or buy this book. The logical mind says it's a waste of time, but the student knows this is the universe's GPS leading to an opportunity today. Inspired action is instant obedience to these hunches. The more you obey, the stronger the signal becomes. If you ignore them, the signal weakens. Test it. Next time you feel a positive impulse to do something senseless, do it. You will find that action was the missing link in your chain of manifestation. Trust the timing now. 30 smoke obstacles, the signal test. As you move forward, obstacles will appear. But in the master frequency, they are not concrete walls, they are smoke walls. They look solid and scary from afar. If you move toward them with certainty, they dissolve. The obstacle is often a calibration test. Do you stay in fear or maintain the faith, the universe asks today. If you stay calm, the obstacle yields. Money appears or the creditor gives you an extension. The obstacle only has the power your fear grants it. Crossing the smoke requires dynamic will. Walk toward the fear and the fear will disappear. Run from it and it will grow. Be firm in your signal and the path will clear itself for you now. Zephan, the as-if principle, quantum acting. William James and New Thought Masters advocated the act-as-if principle. If you don't feel the emotion, act as if you do, and the emotion will follow. This is reverse induction. Just as electricity produces magnetism, physical movement produces emotion. To be secure, walk as a secure person. Dress for the job you want today. By modifying your posture and behavior, you send a signal back to your own subconscious. Your body tells your mind, "We are walking with heads high, we must be successful." The subconscious then tunes the frequency to match the posture. This is physical transmission. You tell the world who you are through your skin and muscles now. First, money as exchange energy. In the master frequency, money is not paper, it is gratitude energy. It flows to those who transmit value. If you want to receive input, you must transmit service, output. It is a circuit. Many block their money by only thinking of receiving. Dynamic will asks, "How can I be useful today? What can I give to others?" Now, when you focus on giving your talents, you create a vacuum the universe must fill with money. Transmit excellence. Do your current job with love. By doing so, you emit a high-quality frequency. You cannot stay in a low-value job with that signal. To earn more, transmit more. Be larger than your current position today. Zausti fascination, influence at a distance. Atkinson wrote about mental fascination, the ability to influence others without words. When your transmission is pure, you don't need to argue. Your presence convinces. While speaking, keep a second audio track in your mind. You trust me. This is good for you. Project Benevolence. People want to be led by stable frequencies now. Practice, the 24-hour transmitter challenge. Tomorrow, from waking until sleep, imagine a light in your chest projecting blessings. 1. In the street, mentally wish someone great luck. 2. At work, charge your emails with peace. 3. With money, bless it as you pay. 4. Physical action, do one thing you've postponed out of fear. Break the smoke wall today. At the end of the day, observe. You might be tired, but you will be vibrating high. You will notice people smiling more and traffic flowing better. You have stopped being a passive victim of circumstances to become a generator of atmosphere. You have reclaimed your will. The transmission is live and the world is listening now. Conclusion, the hand on the dial. We have reached the end of the transmission. Close the book or turn off the audio for a moment. Look around you, look at your room, your bank balance, your body in the mirror, and the people around you. What you are seeing is no longer the world. What you are seeing is your tuning history in your life right now. Everything around you is crystallized music. It is the tangible result of the frequencies you have been emitting, consciously or unconsciously, over the last few years. If you like what you see, your dial has been in the right place. If you don't, you now know that the fault is not with the device or the signal today. Now you know that you have your hand on the dial and that you can turn it. Throughout these chapters, we have dismantled the most paralyzing myth of humanity, the belief that we are victims of circumstances. We have merged Atkinson's mental physics with Murphy's subconscious faith to deliver a scientific truth to you now. You are a radio station with legs. The ocean of waves contains all possible realities. Poverty and wealth, sickness and health, solitude and love are all playing simultaneously in the ether. None is more real than the other until you tune into it. You are the selector. You are the arbiter of your own experience today. I, the operator's summary. You now possess the technical manual of your own soul. 1. Everything exists already. You don't create money. You reveal it by adjusting your frequency. 2. Calibrate the receiver. Relax the solar plexus and direct the brain. 3. Use the emotional dial. Feeling is the secret. Gratitude is the strongest signal now. 4. Program the subconscious antenna. Use the minutes before sleep to record the new station. 5. Protect from static. Build a Faraday cage against doubt and emotional vampires. 6. Trust resonance. When the cup breaks, it's because something better is coming. 7. Exercise transmission. Act with inspiration today. Total mastery and practice. Technical knowledge is not mastery. Knowing how a piano works doesn't make you a pianist, playing it does. Mastery is not never having negative thoughts. That is impossible while human. Mastery is the ability for quick correction. The master is not one who never loses the frequency, but one who corrects it instantly now. The novice stays in the static for days lamenting. The master pivots in seconds. From today, your life becomes an act of conscious tuning. Every morning, your invisible hand will rest on the dial. The universe will ask, "What do you want to hear today?" Do not let inertia or the news answer for you today in your world. Answer yourself. Turn the knob toward hope, success, and adventure. Hold it there with your dynamic will, even if the outside world contradicts you. Remember that the outside world is only a late echo. If you maintain the note, the echo must change. It is law. Do not look for miracles outside. You are the miracle now.